Watch party.
There, we
Yay.
shared where we need to, and we've pressed record. So,
Oh, wow.
with without any further, we're just making sure we're all in the right places here. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Khera from Inbalance Pilates. I'm author, studio owner, course creator, and this is today's feature interview. And oh, I have such a special guest for you today. I'm so pleased to be speaking with my friend and co-author. She's a documentary filmmaker, a author, as I mentioned, children's book writer, and a change maker. And today I have with me Dr. Angela Sadler Williamson. So welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. I'm so excited that I'm trying to do my own watch party right now.
All the tech things, I hear you. The checklist of.
Yes. But I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to actually be the first time in your audience. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, and what a busy week you have ahead of you. This is a huge week. One of the main reasons we wanted to come on today is to discuss and celebrate your children's book launch that is coming tomorrow. So I wanted to just, I know it's so exciting. I wanted to just introduce you. So Dr. Angela Sadler Williamson is an independent filmmaker, speaker, and educator, and she's a doctorate in human services with a specialization in management of nonprofit agencies from Capella University in Minnesota. She has over 25 years experience in the broadcast television, cable, advertising, healthcare, financial, municipal government, and higher education industries. And she is a former producer and copywriter with the Orange County NewsChannel, Fox 11 Television, Fox Sports West, and Prime Ticket, and has received multiple Telly awards for her accomplishments. So again, I welcome you here. I can't wait for you to tell us about the documentary, the books, everything. So welcome.
Thank you again so much for having me. Wow, wow. There's just so much that's going on, and to be able to spend this afternoon with you before the book launch is just, it's so exciting. There's this book has been in the making, where I just started to think about writing it for over 10 months now, and that it's finally going to be released following the documentary. I mean, I can't ask for a perfect time for this book to be released, but I'm looking forward to the new audience that I get to speak to. I finally get to speak to children, and I think that they will like what I have to say.
100%. We should also mention how we know each other, because I find all the magical stories of how people have been able to become a part of the Inspired Impact book series. I find there's so magic in the stories of how we've all connected with the community. So how is it that you met Kate Butler and became a part of the series?
Well, it happens to be another co-author. She was in Women Who Impact, and you were in Women Who Influence, correct?
I was in the second book, Women Who Inspire.
Inspire.
So I've got both of ours back here, Inspire and yours, Illuminate. And so, yeah, so mine was September 2017, and you were August 2018, right?
2019, just last year.
Was it 2019? Just this last,
yes,
okay.
Yes. Kate's already released one book, and she's about to release another. I mean, that woman is just go, go, go. I love her. But I think I love being part of this Inspired Impact series with all of you, because I've literally have found so many what I call instant sisters and this, and
Yes.
it's so incredible how Kate can get so many like-minded women together and get us all to tell our stories, because there's just such a connection there. And it's almost like the best networking event that you could ever go to, because we all connect and then we all want to support each other. And a lot of times, and I hear this a lot, and in fact, a few years ago, I spoke at a women's conference where they said, you know, women, we need to support each other more. And, you know, what's the problem there? And, you know, I don't see a problem there. I see that it can be done. And Kate has proven that with this book series. And so I think it's so important for, especially there's going to be women that are watching that might be thinking, oh, I have this story I want to tell, but they don't feel like they could tell it. But you can, because what you get when you join the Inspired Impact family is you get a group of sisters that are there to support you through thick and thin. And I've seen that over and over again. And I've only been part of the family for a little over a year.
I wholeheartedly agree. It is such a fantastic community, and with the additional support and collaborations and just that internal cheating and support for each other, it's absolutely priceless. And then yes, so many of the ways we've met each other and gotten to be a part of the series. And I find as well, you know, sometimes we're going through huge things in our lives, and maybe the last thing you would think is, I'm going to take on this additional product of doing a book, whereas you know, we're here to show you that many different things can be going on in life. Sometimes to taking on something so amazing and huge and wonderful, it brings so many new opportunities. It's really amazing to see different people at different stages going through different things, but still with this main goal of sharing their story, helping other people, getting the word out, getting their story out. And as you said, we were so with Kate Butler, and in that, her amazing ability to get the stories out of us, you know, to really pinpoint our whole journey where we could focus in and get that story out there, which is such a gift. Aside, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And it's not even just the gift that she has, but in the process of telling our stories, I think it's a healing process. And I'm making this large assumption out there, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a healing process, because when I think about how I wrote my story, and I focused on how I actually got the documentary out there, and then the different events that happen around the documentary and what I was going through
And
emotionally.
can you tell my audience the name of the documentary and
Absolutely.
just a little bit about, yeah, which my
Absolutely.
husband and I had the honor of watching this past week, so we can talk more about that. But yes, tell everyone about the.
So in 2015, I started a production on a documentary based on my family, and I actually married into the family, and it was based on our cousin, Rosa Parks, and my Aunt Carolyn, who at the time when I was talking a lot with Aunt Carolyn, and this was in 2015 after my husband's father passed away, I realized that she had a lot of wonderful memories that is actually a wonderful legacy that should be captured. And so in an effort to capture this legacy, not only for my son, but for others, I started to embark on this journey to tell this story. And it sounds like at the time, and I've been learning a lot about intentions. And at the time, the intention was, yes, to tell this story, but it was a personal intention for me as well. And so when I started doing doing the story, had it come together, I never thought that it would take the journey that it did, because my intention for it was quite limited, because it was based on how I was feeling at the moment. And so that's why I say, with My Life with Rosie, which is on Amazon right now, the documentary, the children's book is also called that, but it's called A Bond Between Cousins. But in telling the story of Rosa Parks and my aunt Carolyn Williamson Green, I was able to touch so many people's lives, but I wasn't really understanding that I was doing that until Kate Butler gave me the opportunity to write down that story. And in writing down that story, that's why I say, if you think you have a story inside you, maybe you do need to write it, because it can be a healing journey for you as well. And that's how I felt. I felt it was a healing journey.
Mm-hmm. And after you met Denise and she had let you know about the book series, that you should really get in touch with Kate, was it hard from that point to that point to decide, or did you know right away that it was something you wanted to do?
Without, I think it was hard. In at first, when Denise McCormick, she actually gave me her book, and wrote a note and told me that I said something that she thinks should be in the next series, which was Illuminate at the time. But I'd met Kate, and of course you meet Kate and you love her right away, but I was still apprehensive, because I think I still needed a lot of healing to do. And so it really, really, what she does is that she not only is there as a book publisher, but she's there as a life coach as well. And I think that's important for book publishers, especially book publishers that are telling women's stories where we're revisiting something that could be painful in our journey. And so with that, I got two things in one person. I got the book publisher, but I got the life coach. And I don't know if she felt this at the time. Maybe she'll tell me tomorrow when I do my Facebook Live with her. But I needed that life coach, because I was definitely on the fence. But once I spent some time with Kate, and she really encouraged me just to write down my story, the story just flowed. And I was like, wow, if that could just happen with everything in life. But it definitely, I firmly believe that at that time in my life, that Kate Butler was put there to give me the push. And I'm not just going to say that one time, because she had to do it again. You think I learned my lesson, but I didn't.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Oh, no. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Okay, yes. And that's why I said, I mean, if you're looking for someone to publish your story, that she has this life coach experience, it's what is needed to get those stories out. And I think that's what sets her apart from any other publisher. I'm not saying they're bad, not at all.
100%.
But if you know that you need that extra push or that extra boost, that's why she's so important.
I 100% agree. And aside from the book publishing code and life, as you said, I was also so thrilled with all of the learning we had on meditation, journaling, setting intentions, visualization. I had said in another interview I was in, I highly doubt that every launch day publishers are fostering such a sense of community and support and visualization and just all things to make that launch day a huge success. And thinking about that day and how magical it was, I am so absolutely thrilled for you for tomorrow, about to embark on another book launch for My Life with Rosie, A Bond Between Cousins. And again, to just preserve that legacy of your cousin, Rosa Parks, to ensure history, you know, that what's shown in history books are true and relevant to what you truly know from the family history. And what were some of the main points that you really wanted to be sure were in that preserving legacy?
Oh my goodness, that is such a fantastic question, Lisa. One of the things that I think we talked about the unique characteristics that makes Kate Butler a wonderful publisher. And I think I had a unique characteristic because of being married into the family. When I was able to finally meet her, and I met her pretty late in life, but when I was able to meet her and I started to really hear the family stories about her, I was thinking, and she had always been a hero to me, and to a lot of young girls she is, just because it was the law, but she defied it because she knew it was wrong. The law was wrong. And so I mean, I always felt that way. But then when I started hearing all of these stories about her, I felt that, oh my goodness, there's so much about Rosa Parks that isn't in our books. And I'm talking about, with elementary history, with secondary history, and then even with when I took it in college. Still, it's a few sentences. And so when I embarked on my journey, I wanted to, and I went back to my old days when I was taking script writing and when I was in the bachelor's program at Cal State Fullerton. I went back, and there's this professor, that Dr. Dias, and I still remember his name, and he talked about the importance of three-dimensional characters. And with three-dimensional characters, there's not a surface level to them. And I felt that everything I had learned about Rosa Parks, it was surface level, but she wasn't that way. She was like, and so when I did it, I said, let me tell the story as if I'm developing this three-dimensional character and how she's impacted what Aunt Carolyn has done in honor of what she's learned. And so that is really how I did it. And I approached that from the research. I approached that from the questions that I wanted to ask. And then because when you do a documentary, most of your time is spent in post-production. So we literally shot everything in 72 hours in 2 states in 1 country. We were in Canada. But it took us 2 years to actually put the story together. And that's because of trying to put together that story so that everyone who watched this documentary would see Rosa Parks as that three-dimensional character that I was taught to write about way back when I was in my undergrad.
And then who knew your wedding shower would be from that young girl to your wedding shower? And that's what you wrote out in your chapter, in your foreword in Women Who Illuminate. And so at that point you'd already done the documentary, and then a little bit about mastermind around time you were while developing the or what shall we call it, to go to the children's book. What was that pivotal moment that
how did I get to that point, huh?
How did you get there?
Because it looks like, okay, I had this strategically planned and I was going to do this, but no, I cannot say that. The book, and I actually, in my mind, and I actually have started some pre-production on a new documentary that I wanted to do, and I still want to do. But right before Illuminate would launch, which was the middle of August, 2 days before that, it's Women's Equality Day. And I guess Mattel, as part of celebrating Women's Equality Day, they come out with these famous dolls, and they call it the Inspiring Barbie series, which is phenomenal. So it just so happens that right before Illuminate launches, that Mattel launches the Rosa Parks doll. You talk about like how the I know.
Yeah.
And so because over the last few years and with social media, and I had so much support on social media by so many people, that when this doll hit, and I guess it hit the press and everything, people started tagging me and telling me that, oh my gosh, Angela, look at this Rosa Parks doll. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is so fantastic. And then I go to look for the doll, because at the time the doll was back ordered. So, but you could read the product description and all that fun stuff. And so I go to read the product description, and there's a lot more there. But the first thing that hits me is the first sentence that says, Rosa Louise Parks was living her life as an ordinary seamstress before an extraordinary day on December 1st, 1955. And I'm like, no. Like, oh my goodness, that is not true. First of all, she wasn't a seamstress, she was a master tailor. And then second of all, she was an ordinary. And I'm not faulting Mattel for that. It's what they know. And you go with what you know. But I think it just hit me in the gut, because I was thinking, I'm ready to move on to the next chapter. Now, I could be this this woman who does these documentary films based on historical women. And obviously I wasn't done, because something I thought I was.
Her activism did not just start that day. And so to be able to tell that story, what a gift to be preserving that legacy in that way. Because so continue. Sorry, it just really excites me.
No, but oh my goodness, Lisa, you get it. I still know my work is not done, but oh my gosh, you get it. And that's what I wanted people to get. But when I looked at this product description and the documentary, I knew it was too long to ever go into elementary schools. But when I looked at that and thought about every child who would get that doll and who would read that and not really know that three-dimensional character that I tried so hard to develop in the documentary, it just gutted me. And I thought, well, but what can I do? Maybe, and I thought, well, I definitely couldn't. I was re-editing it anyways for it to go into to education, but still not elementary education. There was a scene that I showed, the bus scene that I showed to children, second graders, and they loved it. So I figured, well, that's a part I could show to them, but I had nothing else. I had nothing else to give that audience, the same audience that would be getting that Barbie doll. And I know that other people get it, because I will say, yes, a woman in her 40s, I did get the Barbie doll, but I wasn't the intended audience. So that intended audience wouldn't know the depthness of what I was trying to do. So I was going back and forth with it. And Kate had a mastermind meeting. And I don't even know how I got on this meeting, because I'd never been in a mastermind before. I had to look up what a mastermind is. And I know I've been hearing it for years, but I didn't quite understand what it was. And yeah. That's why it's so important. That's why she's so important. And we're in this mastermind, and I'm listening to all of these great women. It's Kate, and it's two other women. One woman was actually in Illuminate with me. Oh, both women were in Illuminate with me. And so they come to me, and I just tell them, I don't know. I don't know what I want to work on, but this product description about Rosa Parks is really bothering me, but I don't know what I can do. I've been thinking about a children's book, but I don't know how to write a children's book. I don't even know if I could write in their voice. And then Kate looks at me, she's like, oh, this seems like the same conversation I had with you when we were talking about women who illuminate. And I'm like, oh my goodness, take me down a peg or two. And
We
she's like,
need those call outs. It's good from a
yes. And
yeah.
she does it so nice. It's like to a point where you know you can't be offended because you know you're wrong. But she does it so nice. And she said, so what do I do? You publish children's books. And the other ladies are, completely, Lisa and Jennifer are completely saying, yes, go for it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. But, it was to the part where it took her coming back to me again. I mean, you would think after having that documentary, having it on Amazon, and at this point, Illuminate is like a bestseller, and life would seem, if you're looking at me from the outside in, it would seem that I have it all together, but still I didn't. And so I think a lot of times what I tell people when I tell them this story, that activism never sleeps, but I was sleeping because I still wasn't sure about myself. And I want to tell people, don't let that stop you from accomplishing what the universe has set for you to accomplish. Because for me, because I am a Christian, and so I believe in God sets these people in your path, and at the point where I think you think God would have thought I would have gotten it, but I didn't. So he had to set Kate and Lisa and Jennifer back in that path again to say, yeah, you can do this. You just need to do it. And that's basically how it started. In November, I started writing, and we talked about some launch dates, maybe Black History Month, then maybe, then we thought, well, probably won't get to that, but let's talk about Black Women's History Month in April. And then we had the pandemic. But it didn't stop the creative process. And I wrote this when I was doing some of the marketing and social media for the book, was that the creative process didn't start, because I want people to know that, yes, it doesn't mean that I didn't have the same fears that all of us had when we didn't know what was going on around us, when we didn't know, the schools are shutting down. My husband's now working from home, and I'm now working from home. I mean, mostly I did work from home, but the other things I was doing from home. And so with that being said, it was almost as if my plans for the book, my plans for the release, wasn't what the universe's plans were for this release. And with that going, us keep going and going at it and working on this book, we are now able to be proud of releasing a book that is relevant to what people are wanting today.
Yes, 100. That very divine timing with that wait from April till now. Yeah.
Divine timing is definitely what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can definitely, agree what you were saying with just how, God puts people in our paths. And I feel the exact same way in terms of my meeting with, or getting involved with Kate Butler and the Inspire Impact book series, when that I knew that I was going to be downsizing my studio. So to have a new kind of career path, being an author, because I had been a Pilates instructor, studio owner for 11 years at that time, to be able to take a whole new path when things were really unknown at that time. It was such a gift. And then, as we've said before, just to have the community and friendships and collaborations and everything from the series with all of the co-authors, it's such a wonderful sisterhood. And I'm so glad you had their support to help push you along to decide to make the children's book possible. You know, that's congratulations then, because tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow's the big day.
No, I
Now,
know. I want to fan
tomorrow,
myself.
are you going to be able to sleep tonight? One
I
more
don't know.
sleep.
I'm going
It's
to try. I'm
great.
going to really try
As
because
I said,
I want
I
to
don't
hit the
think,
ground running. But
yeah.
I mean, I think there's so much in even, I mean, yes, we have this end product, but there's so much that's gone into this book that, I mean, there's just the synergy behind it, and having the right illustrator and the right designer and having all the right people that help me get this book off the ground. And I think it's so important. And I think what I have learned from Kate is that as women, it's important that we support each other. It may, even if it's something that you want to do and it's not your time to do it, it's okay to support that woman who's about to do it. And I've really felt that just by watching her as an example, that that I have, become a better, not only a woman, but a better mom and a better wife and a better friend and a better daughter, because I've learned the importance of lifting others up. And sometimes people go through their entire lives and they don't feel that way, but it's okay to have other people lift you up. And if you're the person that's got that, it's okay for you to lift up that other person, because you never know where they're at. And so it's not just that I have this book that's being released, but I've been able to really learn and grow by having this wonderful example in front of me over the last 10 months.
Mm-hmm. So for my audience watching, I know, you probably met people as well. You'll meet someone that has a wonderful story in their mind, and there's a part of them that is thinking about writing a children's book, but then maybe they're getting caught up with the thought of finding an illustrator or playing out the layout, or how would I really make it happen. So do you have any tips for listeners that are in at that part of the journey?
It's funny, Lisa, I actually had someone reach out to me and ask me that question, and they had this phenomenal story, not only a story, but they had a book series. And they had been working on it on their own, but they need to get through the process. And I highly recommend Kate Butler, for any book, any children's book, any other book that you want designed. But it's not just, with the way that it looks, it's with the way that she is, that coaching that comes along with you. Because it's one thing to put out this book, it's another thing to have the person behind the book be whole enough so that they can support what they've written. And that's the goal there. But it's not even just with a children's book. I mean, I know that Kate is getting ready to launch a new book, and I think it's Women Who Empower, which every time she comes out with something, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. But Women Who Empower, think about that. Someone is sitting on a story right now that can
Mhm.
empower someone else, but they don't know where to go. And so the thing is that we have an entire community of women in this Inspired Impact book series that we are there to support people and there to lift them up. But you have a woman right there that can help you get that story out and maybe help empower others, which is something right now that I think our entire world needs.
Oh, do we ever? 100%, 100%. So tomorrow, for our guests watching, you're going to have a special reading of the book. Is that correct? And so where can we find that information? And where can we find or when can we get the link to purchase the book? That information?
to get the information for the video where I'll be reading the children's book at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, go to the My Life with Rosie, a Bond Between Cousins children's book, because I have another site, My Life with Rosie, for the documentary. So go to the one that is the children's book. And with that, the video's on there, and you can hit interested and it will send you a reminder. But also when it's ready, the link is live tomorrow, it will also be on that fan page as well. So everything that you ever want to know what's going on with the book launch tomorrow is at the My Life with Rosie, a Bond Between Cousins fan page. And we have some remarkable Facebook Lives going on tomorrow. I'm so excited about it.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting for the big day. That's fantastic. And then for people that are wanting to get watch the documentary, they can go to Amazon Prime, and it's My Life with Rosie. And as I said, my husband and I had the pleasure of watching that this week. And thank you again for that. And we wanted to make sure as well, just because we are here watching this on Facebook, definitely share this out, give some likes and loves, and share this out. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. And definitely go to your page so that we can watch the reading tomorrow, and then as well be inspired by some of the other interviews that you have going on. How are you going to celebrate launch day tomorrow?
With the Facebook Live.
Yeah, it's not like when women who illuminate. Did you go to dinner? Did you go out and
with women, with women who illuminate, it was actually, I have a best friend and her name is also Angela. So we went to dinner to celebrate her birthday, and then I got to do some special Facebook Lives with my co-authors, Tina and Jazz.
Isn't that amazing?
Jenna was there. She wasn't part of the book, but she's like, I'm celebrating with you guys anyway. So tomorrow, the Facebook Lives, I don't know what I'll be looking like at 6 o'clock tomorrow, but I'm sure I'll be a happy camper. And the hubby is taking tomorrow off. So, I mean,
well, it'll be nice to go through
I get my own like sexy assistant.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see, but I'm really, really excited, and just all the people who have agreed to do the Facebook Lives with me, who have agreed to share, and I'm part of the Writers Guild, and the Writers Guild moms said that they want to share, and so I mean, I know I am so blessed right now, and so I don't know. I have Kleenex right here because I'm thinking I might end up with a bunch of using it tomorrow, but it's just, I know from the very first creative meeting I had with Kate and Chloe, I knew we were doing something bigger than ourselves. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what that is tomorrow.
Yes, I am as well. And I mean, that's the thing with our community. After doing one book, any other projects that you have coming up, just this sense of community and support and collaboration is nowhere, it's so, and that's why it's so wonderful to have everyone cheering for you tomorrow. And again, just the way Kate Butler inspires us to keep living our dreams and keep going with those goals, and doing it one time is easy. We have that, we've already seen that we can win, right? We've already proven to ourselves that confidence, that inner fire, that inner desire, and it's definitely something that you can't just stop, right? So then have this huge community of support and sisterhood. It's wonderful. And so I want to thank you so much for coming on this interview today. It's such a busy launch week, and I am so thankful, so thankful for you taking the time. And I'm so happy for everyone to get a chance to listen to the story tomorrow. and you said 10 a.m. Pacific. And we'll definitely be heading to your page for the Amazon link. And I'll send that out to people that are on my, if you're on my email list, I will send out a copy of our interview here and your launch link, your book link for tomorrow. I'll send that out tomorrow so everyone can just have easy access to that.
Yes.
But yeah, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to do this, because it's been such an honor to have you on. And I'm just super thrilled for tomorrow. I know it's going to be an amazing day for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. And I wanted to thank your audience too for tuning in. And, you know, I think if there's any woman out there that just may need a boost, I think they should really think about telling their story, because we're here to support.
100%. Definitely. That's such a good way.
Yeah.
A good, it's to have that support is everything that you need. And sometimes you just having that, sometimes it just takes a little bit, just the right nudge, the right teacher, knowing you have that support, and then you are ready to go. So again, we are so excited for tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll put some extra additional ways to get in touch with you in the links here and in the links on YouTube as well. So again, get some nice rest tonight. Enjoy yourself, and have a wonderful, wonderful day tomorrow. I'm so excited for you. And again, thank you so much for coming on today.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Great stuff. Well, have a lovely day, everyone. We're going to sign off from now. So again, this is Lisa from Inbounds Pilates. And again, have a lovely night, and we're cheering for you for your launch day tomorrow. So thanks again. Bye, everyone.